it's Cuckoo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing another social media 101 video, and today's focus will be how to create your very own social media strategy. In last week's video, if you haven't watched it, stop here, go watch that, then come back here. It's super important to have a social media strategy. Your social media strategy is your blueprint to how you as a business do social media marketing. What it does is it helps give you focus, and it helps you be intentional about what you create and why you create it. It helps you understand who your audience is and how you should be talking to them and how you should be presenting yourself to them in a bid to make sure that you are smashing it when it comes to your social media marketing goals and also your business goals. But I will be talking about that a little bit later. One thing I do want you to know is that I've put some effort into this video, and I've actually created a social media strategy template. This resource is available to you down below in the description box, so please do give that a download. And if you have a printer, print it off and you can follow along as we go through the video, and you can pause the video, make the notes that you need to make, and then continue. Or you can just watch this video again and again and again until you get what you need to get and you have a social media strategy to run with. My hope and desire off the back of this video is that you would have created your very own social media strategy for you to use to empower your social media marketing for your business. I hope that the social media strategy that you put together will align with your business goal and your marketing goals, so that we're really empowering the way you do business, and everything that you're doing is focused and strategic. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So as I discussed in last week's video, a social media strategy is a detailed blueprint that answers the what, when, how, why for all the content you post on your business's social media page. As we discussed last week, so many business owners, small business owners, even big businesses, to be quite honest with you, so many people are just lost in the sauce. When it comes to creating content, people just be posting out every single thing that they think is, I don't know, of personal interest to them, random things that is completely unrelated and of no interest to your audience. We do not want to do that. We do not want to do that. And that is why we are creating a social media strategy today. So the first thing I want us to do, and we're going to take our time doing this, is define your audience. This should be fairly easy for you to do, because as a business, you should have an idea of who your target audience is. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to pull together a brand persona. You can actually pull together several of these. So like I said, if you need to pause this video or watch it through more than once, please do. As a business, I'm sure that you're targeting more than one person. That's why I said you might want to create brand personas, more than one, but we're going to start off with one. To create a brand persona, what I want you to do is figure out the demographic, or define the demographic. How old are they? Where do they live? Do they live in the inner city, or do they live in the suburbs? What is their education level? Did they go to uni? Did they not go to uni? This might not even be of relevance to your audience, so please delete as applicable. What is the typical job function of your target audience? And how far along in their career are they? What salary do they make? The next thing you want to do is define the psychographics. So what are their interests? Do they like shopping? Do they like sport? Do they love reality TV? This is what I mean by being intentional on. We want to add intention and focus to your social media. If your target audience is millennials between the ages of 16 and 25 that are recent graduates and don't have a lot of money to spend, that love reality TV and eating takeaways and going on holidays, you know that there are certain things that you can talk about. So take the time to write out these psychographics. What are their interests? What are their habits? What are their attitude? And how are they emotionally? Are they emotionally led? So if their friend was to tell them about something, are they the type of people to jump on the bandwagon? Again, don't think that all of this stuff is too much and it's extra. It's not. For example, if you want to do giveaways in a bid to drive the amount of followers you have, if your target audience are not the type of people to tag a friend in a post, then you don't want to do giveaways. It doesn't align to your strategy and to the nature of your target audience. The next thing you want to do is you want to write out their preferences. This includes their behavior pattern. Is your target audience or target customer the type of person that lives paycheck to paycheck? You might be selling bread, for example, and this level of detail might not be of relevance, but then if you're selling a luxury bread that costs more than, you know, your standard Hovis loaf, then it might be relevant. So just go through the exercise, indulge yourself so that you can have a real good granular understanding of who your target audience is. As part of this section, you also want to write out what their motivations are. Are these people motivated by popular culture? Are they motivated by family? Are they motivated by friends? Are they motivated by people of prominence in their career? And then lastly, for this section, what are their goals? What are the things that they're trying to achieve? The reason you're doing this exercise is so that when you are creating social media content, you know that you are talking to Sarah Jane, for example, or you know that you're talking to Paul Smith, and you know that Paul Smith is 16 to 25 years old and he likes XYZ and he works as XYZ and his interests are XYZ, you know, and his attitudes and behaviors and motivations in life are XYZ. All of these things will help you define your content that you create later on, and it will also make sure that you're creating content that is super relevant to these people. So the next thing I want you to do is understand how you want your brand to be perceived. What do you want people to think when they think of it? It is your brand. So insert your brand name there. What do you want them to think? What do you want them to remember? What do you want them to be excited by? So I'm going to create an example for the sake of this video. My name is Cuckoo and I own a vegan ready meal business. The aim of this business is to make health conscious young vegans eat healthy plant-based meals that are also tasty and delicious. I want my brand to be perceived as easy to use, young, fun and inspiring. Once you know who your audience is, think about who you are as a business and how you want people to think about you and how you want them to see you to define how you want to be perceived. Pause the video now if you need more time to think about this, or like I said, watch it through, make some notes, and then tackle this question later. The next thing I want you to do is decide what platforms you are going to be on. If you watched last week's video, you would have seen that I gave you guys a really top-line overview of some of the most popular social media platforms and why you might want to use them for your business. I'm not going to get into that in this video. If you want to know more about that, please go and watch last week's video. One of the things that you want to do to help you inform which platforms you pick is you want to really understand what your desired goals and outcomes are for using social media marketing to push your business. So on the screen right now, you should be able to see some examples. But what I want you to do is map out your desired goals or the results that you want to achieve from the use of your social media. This should really align with your business goals. So in this table, you should be able to see some business objectives and some social media goals, and then the metrics. The metrics will act as your key performance indicators. Again, if you need to, pause this video, take some time and think about what your business objectives are and what you want your social media goals to be, because these, honestly guys, it's so important for these to marry up. An important thing to understand is that you can use more than one social media platform. The reason why you might want to use various different social media platforms is that different platforms might help you reach different business goals or different social media marketing goals. I mentioned in my video last week that when you're first starting out, just pick one or two social media platforms. You don't want to spread yourself too thin and then be struggling to create various different content for all of these different types of channels, because one thing you have to remember is that people use these different channels differently. So you want to make things super easy for you and also make sure that everything that you're doing is highly effective and beneficial. Now that you know what social media platforms you're going to be using, the next thing I want you to do is decide what type of content you're going to be posting on each platform. So are you going to be posting video? Are you going to be posting still shots of images? Are you going to be posting graphic cards with inspirational quotes on? What kind of content are you going to be creating? If you have no idea of how to start with this, a good thing to do is to jump onto Instagram and take a look at some of your favorite brands and how they do social. You can kind of reverse engineer what they're doing, kind of break down what they are doing and why they're doing it. Take a look at their page. This is what we call in social media a social media audit. Take a look at their page and try and figure out the types of content they post and try and figure out why they do that. Try and figure out who their target audience is just by looking at their social media. Another thing that you can do is take a look at competitors. I mean, every single business has a competitor. We'd be lying to ourselves if we were to say that our business has no competitors. Take a look at what your competitors are doing, if they're doing anything at all, and see if that marries up with who you want to be perceived as a brand, and take some inspiration from them. At the end of this video, guys, I'm going to give you I'm going to run through my pseudo business, the vegan ready meal company, and break down how I define each point of my social media strategy, just to give you a real life example. Once you've decided what kind of content you're going to create on your channels, the next thing that you want to do is decide how often you want to post. If you are new to this, or if your business is something that you do in the evenings after work, etc., you might not necessarily have the time to post every single day. Equally, it might not be of benefit or effective for your business to post every single day. So what I want you to do is really think about your target audience, your target customer. Think about the persona that you've built. Is this person a frequent user of social media? And if so, how often are they on social media? This should help inform your understanding of how frequently you should be posting. For example, if you own a fashion business and you have a very big inventory stock list, then it might be effective for you to post every single day because you want people to know that you constantly have new stock in. However, if you're a B2B business and you're trying to sell licenses for your platform that enables businesses to be more efficient, posting on Instagram 3 times a day does not necessarily make sense. I mean, you might be selling software, which might not even be something that's aesthetic, it's not something that you can see, so you probably won't even be on Instagram. You'll probably be on LinkedIn, and you might find that it's of more benefit to you to put out blog posts, for example, where you talk about the benefits and the pros of your product, and at the end of the blog post you might have a call out or a call to action which asks people to leave their email address if they are interested in finding out more about their service, or if they're interested in trialing 15 days of the product for free. So that kind of content you might just post out once a week, depending on how rich you are in resources or content will dictate that. So take some time, guys, to think about the type of content that you will be putting out and the reasons why. On the screen right now, you should see examples of content pillars. A good thing for you to do is to create content pillars. If you know what your business goals are and your social media goals are, whatever content you create should fall underneath one of these content pillars. So, for example, if your business goal is to grow the brand, your social media goal may be brand awareness. And one of the metrics for this would be an increase in followers, an increase in engagements and shares. So you might create a content pillar called brand awareness, and underneath brand awareness you might have product showcase, and you might have content that showcases the benefits and the use purposes of your product. You might also do giveaways, so you might give people the opportunity to try your product by entering in a giveaway or a competition. What this type of content normally does is it helps you spread awareness of who you are, because your entry mechanic might be tag a friend, like the post, and follow the brand. By doing that, you are extending your reach. That's just an example to help you understand what you might want to call your content pillar and the type of content that you will put underneath it. A good starting place would be to pick 3 content pillars which are aligned to your business and social media goals, and then pick one piece of content or one content type to fall underneath each pillar. As you get more confident and as you feel like you understand your brand more and your goals and purposes for being on social media, you can always add more in. The last thing that you want to do is you want to define what your KPIs are. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. Like I said, the whole point of us putting together this social media strategy is to bring some focus and some intention into what it is that we're doing on our social media channels for our businesses. So we want this to be measurable, and that's why we want key performance indicators. So if your business goal is to grow your brand, your social media goal may have been brand awareness. So one of the ways in which you can measure that is by seeing how many new followers you have month on month. Another way to measure this is by seeing how many engagements you get on each post on average a month. What you want to see is you want to see this increasing month on month. So what you want to do is you want to go through everything that you've done so far and attach some sort of metric or KPI to it, just to ensure that everything that you're doing is super measurable. So guys, that is it. Once you have built your social media strategy, you should now be able to go ahead and create social media content calendars or social media content plans every month or every week or bi-weekly, however you decide to sit down and plan your content. But you should really have a very clearly defined strategy of who you are as a business on social media, who you're speaking to on social media, why you're speaking to them on social media, how you will speak to them on social media, and the benefits for doing all of this. So before we go, I thought that I would help bring this to life for you guys. So I have an example for you. Like I said, for the purposes of this video, I have created a pseudo brand. That brand is called the Vegan Ready Meal Company. Because we are a vegan, plant-based brand, we will only ever put out content that is relevant to our vegan or plant-based audience, or content that's of interest to this audience. So let's have a look at what that might look. So the Vegan Ready Meal Company's target audience is young adults between the ages of 18 and 32 who want delicious and fast vegan food. Because they're students or young working professionals, they don't have time to sit down and create really tasty and elaborate vegan meals, but that's what they desire. As a brand, we want to be perceived as young, helpful, and inspiring. We want to be these young millennials' go-to brand when it comes to having tasty and quick meals. The social media platforms we're going to use are going to be Instagram and Pinterest. We're using Instagram because our products are highly visual, so showcasing it on a media sharing platform like Instagram makes a lot of sense for us. We will also use Pinterest as it is also an image-led platform, and people love this platform for discovery and inspiration. As a business, our business goals are to grow the brand, drive sales, and also to turn customers into brand advocates. As one of our business objectives is to grow the brand, our social media goal for this would be brand awareness. One of the ways that we will measure this is by keeping an eye on how many followers we are receiving month on month. We hope that this will be growing on a monthly basis. In terms of driving sales, our social media goal will be conversion. We want to see that our content is driving people to purchase. So our metric for this will be website clicks and email signups. And lastly, in terms of our business goal being to turn customers into advocates, our social media goal for this would be engagement. So we will measure this by keeping an eye on how many comments we get on each post and how many likes we get. We'll also check to see if anybody is actively and proactively talking about us and our brand. In terms of the content that we will share, we know that it's super important for us to make sure that all of our content is really relevant to our target audience of millennial vegan. We will only ever talk about vegan food, or if we're talking about celebrities or influencers, these people would have to be vegan also. One of the types of content we will be putting out is video. We will put out quick video content which shows the making of our ready meal, all of the delicious and healthy ingredients that goes into it, and we'll also show people what they can do with our food condiments that we sell. These condiments are things that people can buy to make their meals that they make at home super tasty. As we want to be perceived as helpful and inspiring, we will also profile and highlight celebrities and influencers who are vegans and break down a day of vegan eating in their life. And that is it, guys. Hopefully there you will see how I've brought my social media strategy to life. Now I can go away and create content based on my clearly defined strategy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it super informative and super helpful. Like I said, I do have a resource for you to get hold of. It's completely free down below and it's in the description box. It's a social media strategy template. So give it a download and fill it in, and hopefully you should have a really strong social media strategy that you can use for your business. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, guys, please comment what you would like me to film in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye.